Om Shanti. So, welcome to the English Avyakt Murli Reading Club. Today is 12th of Feb 2025, and we are revising this beautiful Murli of 15th of Feb 1983. Sorry. So, this Murli is a very memorable Murli of the World Peace Conference, which was held in 1983, and also this was taking place in the Om Shanti Bhavan, which you all know is a beautiful campus, which was one of the first big halls which was actually being constructed outside the main campus of Pandav Bhavan. Because the halls which were constructed sequentially, that was History Hall, the first one, followed by the Meditation Hall. Both of them lie in the campus of Pandav Bhavan. And this was the one which was outside, and it was actually a big mountain or hill which was there, and it was blasted. The hill was blasted, and there was a lot of rubble and stones, which Dadi Prakashmani also was involved in picking up. She asked all the brothers and sisters to make lines and pick up. It's a big story to cut it short. So, because this hall was built, Baba, Avyakt BapDada gave this inspirations to build it just for the so that the World Peace Conference can take place, and that's the reason the name of this is Om Shanti Bhavan. So I'll just share the screen and see what BapDada's inspirations are there from this Murli. So yeah, so as you can see, beloved BapDada's sweet invaluable versions on the completion of World Peace Conference. So today the unlimited father is seeing his serviceable children who are instruments for service. Whichever child he looks at, each one is more elevated than the next. So BapDada is seeing the speciality of every elevated and serviceable soul. BapDada is pleased that every child is an image of support and an image of upliftment for the task of world transformation. So in Hindi, two beautiful words. In English, we don't get that flavor of that word. Adhar Murat and Udhar Murat. Image of support and image of upliftment. Adhar is support, Udhar is upliftment. All the children are constantly cooperating in BapDada's task. So seeing such cooperative seeing such cooperative and easy yogis and such special elevated souls, the children who are instruments for service, together with having a welcoming ceremony, BapDada is congratulating the children with golden flowers of love. BapDada is seeing every child in the form of a sparkling jewel of the forehead, a jewel of contentment and a jewel of the heart. So you can see what titles you have got today. All these are swamans or titles. So BapDada is giving us first golden flowers of love. Then he's looking at the mastak mani, which is the sparkling jewel of the forehead. Then uh, the money of Hriday ki money, which is jewel of the heart. Yeah, it reminds us of Dadi Gulzar's also one more name, Hriday Mani. Hriday Mohini, sorry. And a jewel of contentment, which is Santusht Mani. So BapDada also constantly sings a song. And do you know what song he sings? He sings the song, Wah, my children, Wah. Wah, sweet children, Wah. Wah, the loveliest of all the lovely children, Wah. Wah, you elevated souls, Wah. So you have such elevated, constant faith and intoxication, don't you? Throughout the whole cycle, you children cannot attain such fortune that God sings the songs about it. Devotees sing many songs praising God. All of you have also sung many songs in the path of devotion. However, did you ever think that even God would sometimes sing songs of your praise? So we say in Hindi, "Hamari mahima ke geet Baba gaate hain." You're seeing in the corporeal form what you never even thought of. You have just had a conference for world peace. In the World Peace Conference, Baba is addressing those two major BKs who have become the images of support for starting the service in the USA. It started with Guyana, Uncle Steve and Auntie Betty. And right now, as we speak, there are two daughters, Gayatri sister, who's at the Queen's Center in New York. She is instrumental for being the United Nations server, representing Brahma Kumaris at the United Nations. And another daughter is Savi Behin. So she's the youngest in Canada. So why I'm telling you all this, because the conference was just over and they were still there and Baba's addressing them. We'll see that what he has to say to them today. And there was Sister Shelley, who was, and I forget the name of the brother, again, an English American name. He was the Secretary General of the United Nations. And Shelley also was one of the secretaries there, Assistant Secretary General. Yeah, Robert Mueller, there he is. I forgot. Suddenly I got it now. So Robert Mueller and Shelley, both these Baba addresses, because Sister Shelley used to ask Dadi Prakashmani during the World Peace Conference that, Dadi, how are you so happy all the time? I just love your smile. And can I request, can I take this smile with me forever to United Nations? Dadi said, of course, yes, you can take everything. And this smile is always there for world service. So it just reminds me of those stories which senior sisters like Shilu Didi share about the World Peace Conference. It was a really big success. So Baba Singh, you just had a conference with all of us. All the children related very good things. And by becoming the son of knowledge, you also spread everywhere the vibrations of pure thoughts, good wishes, and pure feelings for all the souls with your mind. So Shubh Bhavna and Shubh Kamna. However, BapDada is giving you the essence of all the lectures that were given. You give lectures for 4 days, and BapDada gives a lecture of just 1 second. See, that's really so nice. And what are these two words? Realization and solution. So in Hindi, we could call it Mehsoos tha, actually in Urdu, and solution is Samadhan. The essence of what all of you said is realization. That's self realization. Even if you don't understand the soul, if they just understand the value of human life, there can be peace. Human beings are especially powerful. If they were to realize this, then, as human beings, the religion of humanity would be love and not fighting or quarrel. You know, after the successful conducting of this conference, World Peace Conference, the United Nations was really so happy with the work of our institution that we got 8 Peace Messenger Awards. And all these photographs you can see somewhere in the campus. I think in Om Shanti Bhavan, basically, yeah, because that was the place where it took, uh, where the conference was held. So the next step, the basis of human life and of humanity, depends on the type of soul. What type of soul am I? What am I? So when there is this realization, they'll be able to maintain their original religion of peace. What we should say, Swadharam, original and eternal, as Baba says. So original is Adi, eternal is Anadi. So Anadi and Adi Dharam mein tikna, Swadharam. Then move on from here. So first is Swadharam Shantika. Next is Sresht. I am an elevated soul. Next, I am a child of the Almighty Authority. So, from being weak, this realization will make you feel powerful. Powerful souls and Master Almighty Authority souls can do whatever they want and how they want in a very practical way. And this is why you were told that the essence of all the lectures is just this one word, realization. And it's a beautiful word which Baba also says in one of the lectures, real eyes. Real perception, genuine eyes means actually. So if I'm able to see my real eyes, my proper third eye, that is the true realization. So after he's heard all the lectures and he's constantly with the children. Acha, all the souls who are surrendered in service, and all the children who have come from different zones, each of you should understand that BapDada is speaking to you and speaking to each one of you individually. And in return for all the practical proof that all of your children have shown, BapDada is seeing your form together and is giving you congratulations. Bye. Now you're warning everyone of the changing times, and there also has to be a change in the way of meeting BapDada. Intimated to Baba's people in those very basic foundation years. Where Murli had just begun, Avyakt BapDada's Baba Milans had begun in the Om Shanti Bhavan. So Baba is saying that there has to be a change in the way of meeting BapDada, and we've seen those changes over a period of time. All of you have been thinking that when your family grows in number, the older ones will have to renounce everything. However, this renunciation is fortune. So त्याग में भी भाग्य है. And what Tyag? So because initially the Baba Milans used to be in History Hall, the very first in 1960, from 1969 onwards. Then they moved on to Meditation Hall, which was just across in Pandav Bhavan. And then this new campus, which was built outside, as I told you before, was the first big campus where BapDada Milan was taking place. And here I think around 3,000, 4,000 could sit. And then went on to Gyan Sarovar. So from 80, 82 onwards, early 80s to 95, when Gyan Sarovar was built, it took there, and then only a few years, maybe a couple of years in Gyan Sarovar, and then 96, the Diamond Hall was really expedited. The construction was expedited and it opened when 60 years were over. So 1996, therefore it is called the Diamond Jubilee. That is Diamond Jubilee Hall or Diamond Hall. It was inaugurated during the Diamond Jubilee of the Yagya. So BapDada is saying that you see, when your family grows in number, then people have to renounce. But even in this renunciation, there's fortune. To make others move forward is to make yourself move forward. Don't think that BapDada loves the children abroad and not those in this land, or that he loves only special children. No. Every child is the support of the heart for BapDada and is a jewel of the crown on the head. So it's Mastak Mani, and support of heart, again you can say, is Dil Takht Machine of Baba, or maybe even Adhar Murat. This is why BapDada is giving love from the extreme depths of his heart to all his right hand cooperative children. It is certain that all of you who have come from far away to bring those who are just contacts into relationship are making them move forward in great happiness and will continue to do so. So now at this time, all of you have come for service. Therefore, just do the service that has been accomplished. Should Baba mention the name of every soul, he asking us, what if we were to mention only one name and leave someone else's name out? That is also not, Baba is not taking names. This is why all the souls should think that Baba is placing their soul as the number one soul. Because each one all of those entities or at present residents of India. This is why BapDada is telling all the children who are present in the world, the children who are the residents of Om Shanti Bhavan. Many people feel, oh, how are the residents of Om Shanti Bhavan? So if you all don't know, just go and take a look when you go next time. There are quite a few, I mean, there are not many rooms built, but a few rooms for the seva, for the Om Shanti Bhavan servers to stay. So at various levels, they are there on the first floor, the second floor. This is for them, the residents of Om Shanti. Constantly stay in remembrance, remind others of God, and continue to progress at every step by making each act and moment. At every second, continue to grant the vision of the self and Bhakti, the mirror of the to such children who are restorers of blessings and great donors. Restorers of blessings is Vardhan. Great donors is Mahadana. BapDada's love, remembrance, and namaste. So BapDada is meeting, as I said, that family from Guyana, the foundation family of Guyana. So it's Uncle Steve Narayan and Auntie Betty. So first to Uncle, and he's the uncle in the yajna. There's no other uncle. When we say uncle, he's the one people are referring to. Do you experience yourself to be a closed jewel who's seated on BapDada's heart throne whilst living in a faraway country? You are not far from the heart. And seeing the child's enthusiasm for service, BapDada is pleased and is giving you the number one because he was instrumental in really contacting these souls in the United Nations. As I said, Robert Mueller and Shelley Behan. So BapDada is really pleased and is saying that I'm giving you number one. You're the jewel of BapDada's eyes and are constantly in the flying stage. Therefore, BapDada is congratulating you. Next is Sugal, Auntie Betty. As soon as you took your new birth, you received the blessing of being a serviceable child. You're an embodiment of experience. It's Baba saying, Anubhavi Swarup. Even whilst living in Guyana, you're an embodiment of an instrument for world service and will always be this. Experience Baba's cooperation and blessings through remembrance. Don't you? Your remembrance continues to reach the Father. All your thoughts continue to be successful, don't they? With one elevated thought of yours, the elevated soul, whole families attaining an elevated status. One time, million times. So it was first Uncle Steve Narayan too, obviously immediately who influenced Auntie Betty as well, and then the kids, Sister Gayatri and Sister Sally. And also, they're the ones who really, I mean, I would say, are the foundation stones for service in the entire Americas. Because right now also in New York and the entire US, there are so many sisters from Guyana. In the initial days when there was no service in the USA, it started with Guyana, which you know Guyana is in the Caribbean, what we call the West Indies, because many people don't know where Caribbean is. West Indies they know, because of the cricket team. So initially it was, I think he was in a very good position. He was in the government, I don't know his exact title, as a president or something, as a vice president. And he had given his home for service. And it was initial days where first instruments like Sister Jayanti, Sister Shilu, Sister Meera, all these three basic senior ones, Sister Jayanti, and then Shilu Didi, Meera Didi, Malaysia. All these one by one, Dadi used to send that go to Guyana and serve. And Guyana is a very let me say, place where there are a lot of Hindus. And many of these actually are good English speaking. They have been born over there. Like now you have Sister Anjani as well, who's looking after the Harmony House in the GHH, what we call Global Harmony House in New York. So all of these are basically Indians, but their forefathers or their grandfathers had immigrated a long time ago. So they are totally English or totally American, I must say, but they still hold on to the values of cultural values of India. So it was actually in one way quite easy to serve there. Sister Jayanti and Shiru Didi or even Meera Didi shared how the service started in Guyana. So Guyana is actually the epicenter, as we say, of service. As we say, epicenter of earthquakes and COVID and so on. Guyana is the epicenter for service in the USA. It started from there. So you can see, therefore, Baba is again and again praising them that you all are so multi-million times fortunate, giving your house for service. It's really a lot. When Baba needed them, they have given at that point of time. So therefore, Baba has to give them back in return. And their two family members, two sisters, came into knowledge and are running the show there. One in Toronto, Canada, and one in New York. So therefore, Baba says the entire family is attaining an elevated status. So now Avyakt BapDada's sweet message to all the brothers and sisters who are present for the World Peace Conference. Here it reminds me that um, Om Shanti Bhavan there was no residential rooms there to stay, but outside there were a few campuses. That time we didn't have so many things. The Sukhdam, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was built later because Dadi realized that Dadi Prakash Mani, that we have got this big new bhavan now, that there may be many such programs happening. So we have to build something. So Sukhdam, the campus just next to Om Shanti Bhavan was built. And then further down, as you can see, uphill, downhill, you can see Yogi Bhavan, Rajyoga Bhavan, so many other campuses were built later. Rajyoga Bhavan was also built by Brijmohan Bhai Saab's parents. They had contributed the money for the land and for the construction. And then the Yogi Bhavan, as you go further on that road, the small road which goes uphill from Om Shanti Bhavan onwards further towards that Arbuda Devi Mandir, that small road, a patch of around 200, 300 meters. As that road ends, there you have the Yogi Bhavan. So all these campuses were built later, and otherwise here all the hotels were fully booked because even the brothers and sisters, the BK brothers and sisters, had to shell out their money and stay in hotels because there were really no rooms in the Pandav Bhavan. How many can you accommodate for the conference? So it was really I must say a tough time, but really very fulfilling experience what Dadi Prakash Mani shares and other sisters as well. So Baba is addressing all these brothers and sisters now. As always, just as I reached the subtle region, BapDada was giving all the children love and remembrance with his sweet drishti. Today from Baba's drishti, I was experiencing rays of extreme peace, power, love and bliss emerging. I don't know who this I is, but it will come to know later who's speaking this. Yeah, sorry, I got it. So this is BapDada's sweet message. It is through one of the trans messengers, and probably it is Dadi Gulzar. Usually, she's the main messenger. So Dadi was receiving this Baba's drishti. It was such spiritual drishti that all these four qualities were being attained from it. What are the four qualities? Peace, power, love, and bliss. Shanti, Shakti, Sneha, and Anand. It felt as though I was receiving a great deal. BapDada welcomed all of us children in this way and asked, "Child, have you brought the remembrance of everyone?" And I said, "I have brought remembrance, but I've also brought everyone's thought of invocation." And Baba then said, "All my lovely children who have come at this time have come to know everything. But a day will also come when they will come to meet Baba." It's about the new non BK souls. They've just come here to know what is world peace, what is peace, but they will soon also realize about Baba. So BapDada constantly sees the scene of all the children from the subtle region. And having said this, Baba showed me a scene. Just as devotees in Bharat build the images of a Shivlingam in temples, so too I saw an image in the subtle region. But the shape of that image was round with many sparkling diamonds visible all around it, and four types of light were falling on the sparkling diamonds. They were white, green, light blue, and gold. So you visualize those colors. In a short space of time, that light changed into words. Wonderful. So now see what are those words. So word peace was written in white light. The second was the word enthusiasm, that is green. So green is enthusiasm, though in green basically means sneha and love, that's the color. The third word was zeal. The third color here is blue actually. So light blue actually is for peace, asmani blue. And the fourth, which is golden. Golden is not a natural color in the Vibgyor pattern, but the fourth word was service. So peace, enthusiasm, zeal, and service. And Baba said all the children have served the world with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm and peaceful thoughts. Look how each soul is sparkling so much whilst in the gathering. And then Baba said, my children now know me according to their capacity, number wise. Okay. Nevertheless, they are all my children. So give all my sweetest children who have come love and remembrance. And the sound that emerges from the lips of the children who have come here is that they have come home. Hmm? Really, they were feeling a very homely feeling. BapDada smiles when he hears the sound of the children. Since your children have come home, have you come to claim your full right or just a little? And Baba said, having come to the shores of the ocean, don't go back having just filled an urn, right? मटकी गागर नहीं भर के जाओ सागर से, but go back having become master oceans. Having come to the mine, don't go back with just two handfuls. Go with abundant, increase your stores, which means become full of them. Then BapDada gave three types of gifts to three types of children. First, BapDada is giving the gift of a lotus flower, Kamal, to his children who are holding the pen that is Kalam. So beautiful. कमल दिया कलम वालों को and कौन सी कलम कलम is अपने भाग्य की कलम, so trying to write down your own fortune. But here it was the media people. Obviously there was a lot of media coverage, not only from in national, because it's in the first time in the country such an international conference is happening, that too from the United Nations. I'm sure there'll be media people from abroad as well. So tell my children who are holding the lotus. What is that Baba saying? Constantly remain detached from the tamopradhan vibrations of the world like a lotus, and also remain loving to the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. If you use your pen, that is kalam, whilst being stabilized in such a stage, your interaction becomes successful and you will be able to do something in the name of God. Rather, he says you also will be able to do something in the name of God. So Kamal and Kalam he gave. Second, he said he's giving three types of gifts. Dadi Gulzar in this message, three types of gifts to three types of children. So second is all the VIP children who have come have not been given a throne, but the seat of a swan. So Hans and the throne. Baba said, all these VIP children who have come have power in their words because they're representatives of the UN. I'm giving them the swan seat. So Hans ka takht. Perform any task while sitting on this seat. And by sitting on this seat, your power of discrimination will become elevated so that whatever task you carry out will be filled with speciality. See, just as you carry out a task whilst being seated on a chair, in the same way, your intellect should be seated on the swan seat, and then souls will continue to receive love and power even whilst you carry out any mundane work. So, second is the swan seat, Hans Katak. And third, BapDada gave a very beautiful garland of flowers of light to all the surrendered, serviceable children. So, flowers of light, imagine, or rather visualize. On each light, there will be one or another divine virtue. He told above service, zeal, enthusiasm, and peace in different lights, in different colors. Here he's saying again about those. Then Baba said, these children of mine are those who have imbibed all the divine virtues and become the embodiment, Swarupane. In return, BapDada is giving a gift of the garland of divine virtues, so Divya Guno Ki Mala, to all the children who have carried out service whilst having one strength and following the directions of one. So, Ek Bal, Ek Bharosa, one strength, one support, and following all the directions, the Srimat of one. And then finally, BapDada said, relate this elevated version of BapDada to all the children. And what is that? Constantly remain happy, Sada Khush, be one who's has the fortune of happiness, Khushi ka khazana, and continue to make everyone complete with the blessings and treasures of happiness. Vardano se and खानों से खानिया खुशी की खानों से भरो सबको. Having heard such sweet versions and having exchanged love and remembrance, I then returned to our corporeal world. So this was Dadi Gulzar's message. I don't know whether you all read this blessing and slogan. There's no such blessing and slogan given that time. But since we have it, let's just read it. It's just additioning, more and more in the storehouse of our knowledge base. So let's read it. Blessing is, may you be a soul who has arrived every cycle by having the intoxication of your position and the awareness of the combined form. So nasha apne pad ka and smriti combined form ki. So remain combined in the awareness of I and my Baba, main or mera Baba. That's the awareness, smriti. And always keep this elevated position in your awareness. That today we are Brahmins and tomorrow we'll become deities. So constantly remember the mantra of Ham So, Soham. And with this intoxication and happiness, nasha and khushi, you will easily forget the old world. You will always have the spiritual intoxication that you are the souls who have arrived every cycle. We were this, we are this, and we will become this every cycle. Slogan is become your own teacher, and all the weaknesses will automatically finish. Om Shanti. So, with this, I'll stop sharing the screen and we'll spend a minute in silence, revising, recollecting what Baba had to say, and then share. Om Shanti, apologies. I just read the chat message now because when the screen is shared, uh, I don't know whether this earphones have created, but I hope majority of the stuff was audible. Well, that's drama. So let me know if there's anything which was missed out. Thank you. You can start sharing.
Om Shanti Manoj Bhai. What you drove us down the memory lane. Yeah, there were disturbances, but I think we could, as your voice is very sharp and clear, we could pick up like feast train. It was really a very nice memory lane you took us. And I, like you even, I used to sit with Shilu Ben in her office and she used to tell us all these stories and all. And yesterday itself, when this Murli was started, Baba used the word elevated. I used to always think, why is Om Shanti Bhavan at a height? Why have we to climb over there? Otherwise, see, every other place, it's a little horizontal level. But because yesterday's Murli Baba had said, because I want everyone to look up. It was a nice Murli. And today you took us down memory lane, and you the lovely family also of Gayatri Ben's, which you spoke. It was something nostalgic, at least for me. I like to hear all these stories. Even I have read the book by, I think the book is called as One by the Guyana people. It was nice. But and there was one more message, Manoj Bhai, actually, when they send us the Murli, the admin, Robert Muller's message was also there in that original. It's not there in BK Lohar, but the message which was sent by the admin over here, there was a lovely message for Robert Muller by BapDada. Even where BapDada, he starts, BapDada starts the message and then he goes. For me, the takeaway was only, there are three takeaways, but what I liked is that Kamal and Kamal. See, the media people of today, I think this is what we should read whenever media conferences are held. Sit on a lotus, remain detached from the tamopradhan vibrations of the world. So if every journalist or if every media would really do that, sit on the lotus, be detached, and just think about, here, of course, Baba says loving the Supreme Father, love for their profession, love for the people, then I think the media would be the best people who will have lovely interaction and can do something in the name of goodness. That whole paragraph, I just took it and I said, it was something very nice. Secondly, of course, the swan. Generally, we take swan to be purity, but here Baba gave the power of discrimination. But what struck me and was that first gift of the kalam, the kamal, which he gives to the kalam. I think that's a nice indicator for the media which we can share. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So it was very nice, Murli. Manoj Bhai, there were disturbance while reading, but towards the end, here and there, it was not throughout the Murli and read. Towards the end, it all became clear. So good to know how the Om Shanti Bhavan was constructed and the challenges that they have been through while constructing. And also the nice World Conference that held after the Om Shanti Bhavan construction happened. And here Baba said the realization and solution. And when human being realize that their power, like their particular power, their original religion, and then Baba says the fighting and quarreling, everything stops. So all we have to understand who we are, what we are, going back to our original religion, that is of peace. And then we'll eventually become powerful. Realization will make us powerful. Baba says. That's the takeaway from me. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Yeah, so thank you actually, Girija Behin. So I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you all read from that stuff because I don't usually download so much. I just go from the BKDR. So I've just downloaded. Let me just share the screen because it's a very important message. I think we must share that with all of y'all. And what Baba had to tell Dr. Robert Mueller. He's doctor, not Mr. Yeah, maybe he's PhD. Okay. So in service, you're a soul who has the most elevated part of all. These are the elevated versions for this brother, Robert Mueller, who's the Assistant Secretary General of UN. So again, Baba is reminding, as Sister Girija said, the most elevated. Again, he's telling him that you have this elevated thought in your mind that whatever task you have become an instrument for, you will definitely accomplish that. With the help from BapDada and the whole Brahmin family, this thought will continue to be fulfilled in the corporeal form. Your thought is very good and you think of very good plans. But now, when the spiritual power is added to this plan, the plan will continue to take practical shape. All the enthusiasm of the children continues to reach BapDada. It's reminding again of four things which he said: peace, zeal, enthusiasm, and service. So remain constantly unshakable, be courageous, and continue to move forward. You will see with your eyes the day when the flag of world peace is hoisted everywhere in the world. That's Baba's flag, right? Baba's Jhanda. February time, so it's matching with Shivratri. It's coming soon. So continue to move on. People of the world will try to dishearten everyone, but you mustn't do this. I mean, in what way he's telling Robert Mueller is that people may tell you, oh, what you're thinking about world peace, there's no scope. Everywhere there is war and all that. How can world peace happen? So Baba is telling him that time in 83. You shouldn't get disheartened. Continue to move along with one strength and one support. Ek bal ek bharosa. Whenever any situation comes in front of you, make the Father your companion, and you will experience that you are not alone, but that you have a special power with you, and your dream will be fulfilled. Where the Father is, no matter how many storms come, they will become a gift. Tufan se tofa. Victorious with faith in the intellect. I'm sure you all know this. Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti. So remember this title and that you are a victorious jewel who has faith in the intellect. Acha. So I think after this, then, yeah, he was Vice President, Uncle Steve Narayan. So I'm just trying to see whether I've left anything in this. Sorry for that. So I think, yeah, almost everything has been covered. Yeah, let's scroll down. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. I'll just stop sharing the screen. Good, you reminded us on time so that we finished before time. Thank you, Sister Girija.
No, I always like the way Baba puts feather on the cap. You know, I don't know if you remember Chenna Reddy, I think. I remember that time how what was the help he gave, I think, wrote the way Baba knows how to put a feather on these caps of these people who have contributed as Sahayogis. And I remember that. And I also remember after this when actually we have no time, or I would want to listen from you about these 8 messenger awards. I've heard about Dadi's Peace Award, which was given to her, and Perez de Kola, I think he was his message was awesome, was very awesome when she received the message. So I wanted to hear from you when you said 8 messenger peace awards. I don't remember reading. Anyway, when next time when we get a chance, we'll hear from you.
Yeah, so since we have a minute or so, I'll just share it quickly. So these 8 Peace Messenger Awards weren't given at one point of time. During the World Peace Conference, maybe a memento would have been given that this is the first conference happening in a nation which was a developing country and still is a developing country. So that was the first award there. But after this, then I think in the next few years, they all the double foreigner souls, obviously with inspirations from Dadi Prakash Mani and Dadi Janki and so on, they started this Million Minutes of Peace appeal. That was the first program, the first very successful initiative of Brahma Kumaris worldwide. And through this program, it was conducted in many, many parts of the world. And it was through this Million Minutes of Peace appeal that we got 8 Peace Messenger Awards. So it was not during this conference only. So since you asked about that. So that's the story. During this when the Million Minutes of Peace Appeal was conducted. Right. So I think time is up. Should we just sit in silence or anything else you want to share? Okay, so we'll just proceed with meditation in silence and then exit. Thank you. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful day.